Coming up on this episode of the Spiro Podcast.
You guys just paved the way with your partnerships for how we should just run our business. So with things like the QB Casa integration, the auto HDR AI, and now with Titus Pay at Close, it's just been so easy to run a real estate photography business. I'm just like getting all these gifts and I'm just using them and they're working.
Welcome to the Spiro Podcast, managing your real estate photography and videography business. With your hosts, Todd Kivimaki and Craig Magrum.
Hello and welcome to the Spiro Podcast. Spiro is a real estate platform for your media business. It is built by real estate photographers for you, real estate photographers. We use it at our business, Wow Video Tours, and we are excited to continue to bring new items and new features to allow you to change and grow your business. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. I am your host, Todd Kivimaki, founder and owner of Spiro. Today, it is just me, my co-host Craig Magrum. He is actually out in the field today. And so it's just going to be me today. We have a couple guests on that I'm extremely excited to have on and back on the show for a quick update. And before we get there, I just want to remind you about a few things coming up. So you are very close to Spiro Sync. Spiro Sync is our first conference that we're going to do. It's an in-person event where we are bringing you all together here in early January to build, to belong, and to breathe. It's going to be in Dayton, Ohio, and it might already be too late for you to get tickets by the time you're listening to this. Tickets close mid-January for our event, January 22nd and 23rd. If this is after that, be sure there's probably going to be a replay somewhere, but this is where we're getting together and we are learning from each other. This is a little bit different than any other real estate conference out there in the fact that this is going to have breakout sessions. This was inspired from, it's called Rebar Boot Camp. And that is where you have these mini sessions where you can pick your path, pick your topic to go attend a session held by a thought leader. And in that, you have a short presentation and then roundtable questions and answers and discussions. And accompanying that is a workshop sessions, 2 different workshops where you're actually going to do work. There's nothing worse than leaving a conference and being energized and feeling like, what do I have to do? Or I have 100 things to do. So we are excited about this first in-person event. It won't be our last. And we'll be sure to give you details as we begin to plan Spiro Sync number 2. All right, well, we are just going to jump in. Like I said, I am extremely excited for a couple of guests on the podcast today. And our first, he's a good friend of ours. He's been on before. And let me just give you a little backstory if you don't know Nick with Titus. But this was a relationship we started quite some time ago. And Titus is a pay-at-close solution for real estate agents. And when I first heard about it, honestly, y'all, I was just like, I don't know about that because I don't know that I would use it, but I'm not a realtor. So Nick was very smart and had, he kept track of all of the Spiro users that said, hey, we'd really like to be integrated in Spiro with Titus. And he just casually send them to me. And I learned that what a great guy he was, how he runs a fantastic business. He's a family man and we connect together on a lot of levels. And we have officially integrated Titus into Spiro. You all are the only ones to have it right now integrated in your system. And Titus can be many things. So we're going to clear some of those things up. We also have another guest on the podcast that is using Titus. So we want to give you some real world scenarios. We talk about how Wow uses all of these Spiro features, but we also want to bring on another individual just to give you some more background or to give you another case sample. So we're extremely excited. Everybody, we would like to welcome to the show Nick, CEO and co-founder of Titus. Nick, welcome back.
Yeah, great to be here again. It's
Yeah,
exciting now that we have some time under us with, I just checked, we have over 450 Spiro users using Titus now, which is awesome.
Wow, that is incredible. That is awesome. We spent some time together in Vegas, Nick, and we had a great time, and it was fun to talk to the users out there about Titus. This almost seems like something that, from an agent's perspective, this is really what they need. And I think that was a misconception I had. If you want to just give a quick little background, your background's so important to me, and I love your background, and I think it's why you've created something that's so relevant for real estate photographers, clients, the agent. But could you just bring everybody up to speed real quick and a little bit of background, maybe about everyone in your family is a realtor, and just quickly how this Titus thing came about?
Well, you like it because it's like Spiro and wow. I mean, you had the experience yourself, and so you built something for yourself and shared it with others. And similar to me, my mom, my dad, both my little brothers are all licensed real estate agents. And so I grew up the hand-to-mouth life of, one day I'm going to Hawaii with my family. The next day I have like $35 to spend at Ross Dress for Less for my clothes for the year, and that's just the nature of real estate agents and commission. The problem is they're getting lumps of money and it's not smoothed out at all. And so anything you can do to help smooth out that cash flow is amazing for them. So as a result, agents hold up to 5 times, or it's average of 5 times more credit card debt, because they're trying to float this money between these commissions that they don't know when they're going to close. And so what Titus is it is a new payment method. We've built an entire checkout experience that lets agents pay the way they want to. So they can pay with their credit card now. Obviously, in partner with Spiro, they can pay on delivery, and then they can also pay at close. And the biggest misnomer of pay at close, and we found this out in Vegas time and time again, is photographers think that means they get paid at close. No, the magic of Titus is you get paid right away, instantly. And Logan can attest to that. And it's the agent that's allowed to pay at close. So they just can pay when they make their money on the commission. It's something I built for my family, built for my brother, and very excited to be rolling it out with all of the Spiro photographers.
Yeah, that is amazing. And when Nick says instantly, it literally is like 11 seconds later when you take a pay at close client, when a client, uses pay at close, it is dispersed to your bank account 11 seconds later. So there's, let's cover just some high points about this, Nick. This is a full payment suite. So when Nick came to me, he said pay at close. And as we got to talk and built this relationship, they were very open to what we need as real estate photographers. And how else is Titus other than pay at close, Nick?
Yeah. So our job is to increase your average order value. And so the way we do that is we power photographer checkouts, the full checkout. So when an agent goes to pay for your services, Titus is how they pay. They can pay with credit card or they can pay at close. So with credit card, we can increase your average order value because we have lower credit card rates than anywhere else. And we also have other features that we layer in, like tipping and many more to come. And pay at close also naturally increases the average order value because agents just add to it. They add more, and we'll talk about that in a second. And so this full checkout is very conscious for photographers. We know like every dollar matters. And so with our rate it being much lower, significantly lower than Stripe, Square, QuickBooks, we're seeing a lot of photographers leveraging the full experience. And that way they just have this consistent experience that agents can use whenever they go to pay for their photos.
Yeah, and it's a streamlined experience. At WOW, we are using all of the experiences. Pay at close, we are using Pay Now, and we could not be happier. Our agents, when they use Pay at close, are spending more money. I think our average is low 40% more. It's amazing to see people spend 40% more when they use Pay at close. And one more thing before we get to our guest, we'll bring Logan in here because I want you all to hear how he's been utilizing Titus in his business. At WOW, when we begin to announce Titus, because that's one thing I want everybody to know is you are going to have to educate your clients a little bit on what Titus is and how they can take advantage of it. You're not going to have to convince them because they're going to say, wait a minute, how did you know that I needed that. So you're just going to have to educate them that it's available. And Titus has done a fabulous job. And in the Spiro knowledge base, we have given you these tools. Just take the marketing pieces, take the scripts that we've given and send them out to your clients, and then mention Titus at the capacity that we've given you. But when we sent out our newsletters and let our clients know about Titus, we got a great response. But the thing is who responded to our emails. We found it very interesting that we had brokers and managers of companies asking clarifying questions to us when we said, hey, you can now choose pay at close. And the thing about what managers and brokers know about their agents is exactly what Nick shared with you. They live closing to closing, and managers and brokers want and need their agents to market better. When agents market better, they sell at higher prices. They have more listing babies, which means they get listings from listings, which means a broker's market share grows. And we talk about market share all the time. So I just thought it was very interesting that I could cold email, or I could even call some of our brokers that even know me, and he might side button me for 6 months unless it's really important, unless it's urgent. But I thought it's crazy that they responded to a cold marketing newsletter and said, hey, wait a minute, could you tell me more about that pay at close thing? So I thought that was very, very interesting.
And at the Spiro conference, I'm going to be hosting a workshop on exactly that. So if you're going to be there, you'll get more there.
Yeah, be sure to check that out. Spiro Sync January 22nd, 23rd. If you're listening to this, you better book soon, though, because you're probably at the cutoff date. So come and see us. Okay, so without further ado, let's bring in Logan Stewart with Drone Digital. He has been utilizing Titus, and he's here to tell you how he's been using it. Logan, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. First off, I do want to just say thank you to Spiro, because when we started our business in real estate, you guys just paved the way with your partnerships for how we should just run our business. So with things like the Co-Founder integration, the auto HDR AI, and now with Titus Pay at Close, it's just been so easy to run a real estate photography business. I'm just like getting all these gifts and I'm just using them and they're working. So thank you.
Well, I love that. That's our mission here, Logan. And it's our pleasure to continue to bring those things to you.
Yeah.
When you heard about Titus, did you hear about it in a Facebook post, on the podcast? Where did you hear? And what was your first thought on it? Your gut instinct as a business owner?
So when I first heard about it, I think it was when you guys were like kind of beta testing or rolling it out, and you guys were looking kind of first for people to try it, and it was through an email. And I knew immediately, like, oh, I have to get on this, because the way that I go on market for real estate is I do a lot of like co-hosting of networking events with title companies, roofers, and all the time I hear their pitches and what they're offering. And I kind of like imagine like if I could offer something similar, and they all have something. Like the roofers, they have something that's pay at close. And I see the faces of the realtors light up when they say that, because they had those cash flow restrictions that you're talking about. And what I thought was interesting is that you said, educate them on how the pay at close really works. It's so awesome, because it's not even really like you're educating them. It's like the perfect icebreaker for going up to a realtor you don't know and trying to find that little thing that maybe you're doing differently than their current photographer, because they've already heard, the 1,000 spiels of, oh, hey, I'm a real estate photographer. I can get you really good photos. It's like they're sick of hearing things like that. So if you can come up to them and say, hey, we just started working with this company Titus that offers us a pay at close method for all of our real estate photography media. Like that's a powerful line that opens up a conversation.
Wow. Yeah, that is, Logan, I'm smiling here. If you're listening to this, I'm sitting here smiling just because I think about, we talk about this a lot, and Craig, my co-host, is not on the podcast. And we talk about introverts and the need from a business owner to go talk and build relationships with clients. And thank you for sharing that, Logan, because that is such a gimme for you all to reach. It's a reason to reach out. We always need a reason to reach out, right? And that just makes it that much easier. What's the response, when you say that to an agent? Is it a nice icebreaker? What do you get back?
Yeah, no, it's always like they're super intrigued on it. And I learned very early on too with Co-Founder integration don't hide the partnership, embrace the partnership. And people like that honesty, right? Don't pretend like you're doing this all in house and that you're offering your own pay at close system. Like I tell them like, hey, this is a custom built payment method that Titus, brought to us, and we get paid instantly. And then they wait for you to they use the same address you give them, and they have MLS access, and they actually check the MLS. It's not some weird monthly repayment structure. Like if you ever heard of Klarna or those types of credit processors. I really try to drill that point through because it's not a gimmicky, payment method. It's the actual MLS. Once your listing goes under contract, then they come out and they reach out for that repayment structure. So I feel like that's the conversation that's the meat and potatoes of that conversation. The opener is, hey, we just partnered with Titus and they've offered us the ability to offer you pay at closing. Have you ever had that with a real estate photographer before? And then they go, wow, I've never had that. And then you start, punching in those pain points for them. Hey, I know that you guys have tough cash flow. You're always waiting for that next commission check. I think this would really help you. And I would love to send you an email. And I have an email drafted up kind of like in your marketing stuff that's ready to send these new lead contacts with a bunch of information about Titus.
That's incredible. That is great. So you signed up for Titus. Take us through just the sign up process of getting it done. Is it, because everybody thinks, oh, I got the sign up, like it's really not that painful, right, Logan? I mean, don't let me talk you into it, but
I think if you go in your settings on admin and you just go to, what is it, integrations?
Mm-hmm.
Or it's the same way you set up Stripe. So it was super easy. I think it's even easier on the front end for the realtors because it sits on your order page. It's the first thing they see. And then also to just talk about visually amplifying your order page, every single order says or $0 with pay at close. So it's it's just that's another thing. I was just it was super easy to integrate, super easy to set up. It was definitely a no-brainer. And another thing with us only being in business for 1 year, we're constantly looking for ways that we can add more value to our company. And pay at close was just one of those things that we thought no one else was doing in our area, that if we could get on and, start networking with that and making it a part of our sales pitch when we go out to, sponsor brokerage meetings or sponsor network events, it's just another reason for a realtor who's already been working with a photographer to give you a shot, right?
That's awesome, Logan. And one of the things we've obviously talked about previously and continue to talk about is the increase in AOV. And for those who haven't heard before, the average increase in AOV we're seeing across all Spiro is 35% bigger packages. Okay, so the checkout size is 35% bigger when an agent chooses to pay at close. And the reasons when we've spoken to agents are, I'm paying at close. I can add an extra add-on or a drone shoot or what have you. And then we ran the numbers for Logan's business, and it was even better. You want to share what you're seeing there?
Yeah, we didn't really even know this until we looked into it. But so the numbers that we have, I have them right here. So we've been using them as just as pay at close and then also pay at now. And we've have over 91 transactions with them. Our regular order value is $277. And with the pay at close, it jumps up to $431. So that's a 55% increase on order value when they choose that pay at close method. And I actually reached out to some of the people who've used it, like Cedric is a great realtor who's used it a lot. And I think George has used it too. But they've all told me that it was super simple to set up. I was really worried that I was gonna have to customer service it when I was getting them to go through setting up, but it wasn't like that. They just went through the simple application, and then they were immediately approved, and it was just easy for them. So I never had to check in on them. I just got paid instantly, and yeah.
And what's cool is what you're saying is these agents that use it more than once, that is very common behavior. So it's actually used more by top agents because once they sign up once, all they need to do is input the listing start date and press submit. And then it works for the next one. It takes seconds, as fast as you can type in a date, because Spiro passes us all the other information. And so that's why agents will keep using it. So they only have to apply once, and then they can just move it to all their future listings very, very quickly.
Yeah, that is easy. My mother, as well as yours, Nick, she's a real estate agent. It's a second career. She's going to be 80 this year. And she will call me and say, Todd, where's the W key? And I'm like, Mom, I promise you I did not take your W key. It's on the left side. Oh, thank you, son, so much. Have a good day. So we know from firsthand experience, we need to make this a streamlined, easy checkout for realtors. So that's always at the back of our heads is, hey, we got to make sure our mothers can use it. Now, Logan, a 55% increase in AOV is like staggering, like it's insane. Just from a business owner's perspective, like what does that allow you to do? 55% increase in those pay at close orders.
Well, I mean, I don't know what it allows me to do as much as like what I want to do. I want to like get everyone else to be using it. That's kind of what we're focused on this year, actually, is we're trying to get more of our customers. We have over, I think, 200 users, I think, somewhere around that mark. And not even all of them are using it. So we're setting up this year an email marketing and / SMS marketing where whether it's our new leads or our existing customers, we're reconnecting with them. And it's cool that a lot of our emails we've noticed have been reaching out and saying, hey, by the way, did you know there's pay at close? Because you have to reach out with something, right? And we notice it's a great opener, right, for the conversation, but it's also a great like call to action too. It's like amazing how it works for both ways. Usually, rarely do you have a good icebreaker opener and a good call to action that are the same sentence, right? Because if they sign up for pay at close, it's almost guaranteed they're going to order something because they're looking at our order page. And if you use it, it's a good way to open up that conversation. So it's just, I'm focused on getting the people who haven't used it to use it.
Yeah, no, that and that will just continue, and increasing that AOV is essentially like doing 50% more shoots, because without doing any more shoots, which is the incredible thing about why it's so good to focus on increasing your AOV. And the other beautiful thing is that when you're already out at the property, when you're adding on add-ons, so a higher ticket sales have higher margins because you've already traveled to the property. So it's great to get people to add on drone, Twilight, 3D tours. You're already there, add on those type of items. It's a very high margin. And the other thing that I just like to point out is it really is a true win-win for you and the agent. The agent gets to market with better materials as well. And those are becoming more relevant in 2026 and beyond, because it's more difficult to sell a house than it was 1, 2, or 3 years ago. So it truly is a win-win situation when they add on more products and services. Okay, so pay at close is phenomenal. And I want to talk a little bit more about the full cart experience with Pay Now. And Pay Now, as it's termed, is a replacement for Stripe and Square. And now, Logan, you are using Pay Now, correct?
Yep.
And what did you like about Pay Now versus Stripe or Square, whichever one you came from?
What do you mean, like just the Pay Now feature that's on there?
Yeah. Why did you say, hey, I'm gonna do away with Stripe or Square and I'm gonna go all into Titus?
Well, mainly it was the pay at close, but the Pay Now that I like a lot as well. It's kind of similar to Stripe a little bit, but it's very simple to send your invoices. So like, a lot of times when someone else is paying an invoice, not the realtor who signed up, they can send the link over and it still works. That was a huge thing. So for me, it was like, as long as that still exists when I make this transfer over, then I'm okay with it. Right.
Perfect. Yeah. And Nick, there's other benefits as well, correct?
Yeah. So again, we want to make sure that photographers are able to make and keep the most money possible. So it is lower rates than Stripe, 2.69 as our current rate. I don't know if that'll be forever, but as people sign up in the early part of this year, that's the rate. And then on top of that, you also get paid 3 days faster than Stripe. So your payouts are the next day. So T+1 payouts, which is faster than Stripe. And then in partnership with Spiro, we're constantly innovating. because we're building a checkout experience for real estate photographers, Stripe is not doing that. Okay. Stripe is building a checkout experience for the internet, actually primarily SaaS businesses, software as a service businesses, which is very different. We're building it for real estate photographers, and we also do some work for home stagers. But when you think about real estate photography, y'all get paid differently than a lot of other things. Okay. So we've layered on the ability to customize tips with Spiro. So tips are integrated into that checkout experience. In the near term, we're also going to be layering on something a lot of people have been requesting, which is capture payment method on order, auto charge on delivery. And so you're no longer going to have these situations where agents are like complaining before they download, or they're dragging their feet around the holidays and waiting to press download so they enter their card. It's just going to auto charge on delivery, and you're going to capture that permission up front. It's pretty complicated. You have to capture the permission. That permission has to be variable to the amount that they actually order, because they might add things when you're there in person. And those are the types of things that we're constantly thinking about in partnership with you all. Honestly, it's conversations with not just Todd, but also the Logans of the world, and the feedback we get from everybody. And then finally, the next thing is going to be attaching an address to every single payment, so that it's much easier for you to kind of manage your day-to-day. You'll have receipts with addresses on it. You can start to see when things close. You can start to compare data. There's just some really exciting stuff to come in 2026. It's conversations like this. I mean, we're already getting that 35, or in Logan's situation, 55% increase in AOV. And now it's all about, okay, how do we make sure everyone is doing more shoots, more bigger shoots? And I think that's the stuff we're gonna start seeing here as we add these more features.
Nick, as if an increase of 55% in AOV is not enough, you're tailoring all of these features, tipping, the full cart experience, and then the other items as far as capture on submission, pay on download, and the list goes on and on. I can't thank you enough for all the work and all that you're bringing to the community. I'm excited to use this in our real estate media company, excited to have it in Spiro as well.
I'm excited for our next podcast when we share kind of the next tier of exciting numbers. It's great.
Yeah. Well, Nick and Logan, thank you so much for coming on the show today. Congrats on all your success, Logan. We're excited to continue to hear you grow. And maybe in 6 months, you come back on and give us an update, and we'll continue to talk about how it's impacted your business.
Perfect. Sounds great.
Titus is only available in Spiro, okay, for photographers right now. And so if you want to turn on Titus, you log into Spiro, and it's up right there on the left-hand panel. You just click on Pay at Close, and you go through the process there. And as Logan says, it's just like connecting Stripe. If you want to contact me, my email is nick@gotitus.com. Our team is support@gotitus.com. Happy to help. I've done different strategic sessions. I'll see y'all at the Spiro conference. Find me. Todd is taller than me, but only by a few inches. So you should be able to find me in the crowd. Again, I think one of the things that's most fun about this industry and what we do is everyone's an entrepreneur, and we get to partner. We only make money when you guys make more money. And so we get to partner to expand your business. So excited for this journey.
Oh, I love that. Thank you, Nick, for all that you're doing for the community. I'm excited to continue to build with you. And Logan, thank you so much for coming on. If there's a listener out there that might have a question, or maybe just wants to see your order page or connect with you on a social media channel, how can someone get in contact or see what you're up to?
Yeah, for sure. Reach out to me. We're all kind of in this world together. So I'm never gatekeeping any of the advice. Everything that was handed to me was through Spiro. So it's all an open door. Drone-digital.com is my website. Drone Digital ATX is my Instagram handle. DM me, reach out to me on my website, or you can email me at info@drone-digital.com. I'm the one on the other side of that email, so I'll see it.
Awesome. Oh, well, thank you so much both for coming on. Happy New Year. I look forward to a fabulous 2026 with you both. All right. Well, that is going to do it for us today. I hope that this has been helpful for you. I am extremely excited about Titus and what they're bringing and how they're continuing to just build into the partnership. And I've said this before, and I want to say it one more time. Who we partner with is incredibly important to us. We take it so seriously because not only does our company use it, but we stand behind it for all of you. We want to continue to bring you partnerships and updates that are going to change and impact your business. We thank you all for your trust. Happy New Year, first show of 2026. We look forward to an incredible year. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. If you have a topic for the podcast, hello@spiro.media. And next week, my co-host will be back, Craig, and we're excited to bring another industry topic to you. And as we close here, I just want to remind you to be thankful for the blessings you have and be sure to take a breath. We'll see you next week.
Thank you for joining us for the Spiro Podcast, Managing Your Real Estate Photography and Videography Business. This is a production of Spiro and Wow Video Tours. You can find out more about Spiro's real estate media business management software at our website, spiro.media.